Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, happy Friday to everyone. Welcome aboard once again. Here we are, and we're here, and we're going to be here for a whole hour. You know why? Because it's the Coffee Hour, and we're going to be here, and it's TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. All of you are here. I'm here. You're there, and we're going to get through it together. We come here every Friday at this time, and we bring you a lot of great fun and entertainment. And not only that, we get together and we have conversation. And whatever you want to talk about, we have the conversation going out. If you are a member of the show for a long time, you know what it's all about. You've been here, so we know what it's all about. Now, some of you just waltzed in here for the very first time, so I'm going to introduce myself to you. My name is Frank Allan. We're going to be here for a whole full hour on the Coffee Hour, and you can get involved in the show as well. All you have to do is use your fingers on your keyboards, and all you have to do is just type in whatever you want to talk about it. You can talk to me live. I will see you right there on the big screen, and I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas, because that's what the show is all about, free exchange of opinions and ideas. So we're going to get started right away. We got a lot of things to talk about today, and those of you who are here for the first time, remember that we're on 3 different platforms right now. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as well, and any one of those 3 platforms you can get us. And no matter where you go around the world, we're right there. We're global, and all you have to do is just find yourself a nice hot spot and a great Wi-Fi, and you can pick up anywhere, even if it's in the desert, providing they have towers over there. You know what I mean? Sometimes you like in a complete place where there's absolutely nothing around but dust. Other than that, you can pick us up anywhere. And if you're watching us for the first time, use Facebook, especially if you're on Facebook. Tag all your friends. Tag this show to your friends. You can do it right now as we speak. And when they see that tag, they'll know it's from you because you're their friend. And you can tag as many as you want. As a matter of fact, the more the merrier. If you can't tag every one of your friends, come in each week, and each week tag a few more and bring them out there and have them join us. And they'll get that information. And once they click on to that instant notification that you just tagged, they will bring them right here to us automatically. So there's not a big effort on that part. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, I always encourage you to go to my YouTube channel. You're there right now, and click on to subscribe, right? All you have to do is take your mouse and drag it over there. Let the arrow point where it says subscribe, click onto it, and it's right there, no problem, and makes you a full-fledged member. The reason why we want you to do that, because we would like to know who's actually with us. And the second reason is that every time we come on live, now that you subscribe, you get instant notification. Because sometimes you may forget about what time the show comes on. You happen to be online doing something, whatever it is that you do online, and instant notification will come up. It will remind you, and all you have to do is click onto that notification, and it brings you right to the YouTube channel, and you can watch the show. You don't have to miss anything. So that's the great purpose of that. That's the benefit of subscribing to my YouTube channel. Plus, I love having you along anyway. For those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you don't have to do much. The only thing that you have to do is make sure that you tell your family and friends, let them know about the show, keep them abreast of what's going on. And the way you can do that too, you can cut and paste. Yes, cut and paste our link, right? And just, send it to them. That's another way of tagging your friends. And you can do that same thing on YouTube. Just cut and paste the link. And of course, they'll see that. And again, just like on Facebook, they will see that information. They'll click on, and it brings them right to us where we are. And they'll see you, they'll see me, and everyone else who are out here with us. We want to say hello to you. Thank you so much for being along with us. Right through the show, we have our normal routine too, in conjunction with interacting with you. Coming up not too far away in the show, as a matter of fact, in this particular half hour, Brian Camp will be along. We're going to link up with him. He comes out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And so we go from New York to Charlotte, North Carolina. and he's going to bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And if you have any kind of questions that's related to sports, you could talk to him live, just as you're talking to me. And if you have that question available, let him know and he'll answer. He'll say, bring on the questions, and he'll answer the questions for you if it's sports related. So that's good. So that's coming along too. And you can see him if you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube. You can see him right there on camera. But if you're watching us on Instagram, it's not the same. We don't have that luxury to do that. However, you could hear him as if he was on the telephone, and you could still talk to him, and you could still ask him questions at the same time. I will be monitoring everything. So whatever he does to see, I will see, and then I will relay it to him. So that's coming up too later on in the program. And before that show is over, we're not going to leave here until we give you our picks of the week of the movies that you may be able to watch, because we have a long weekend holiday coming up, and you have plenty of time to do that. Movies that I pick out, my picks of the week for your weekend, and they're all from Turner Classic Movies, and I think you'll like them. So we'll have that coming along for you, and a whole lot of other things to boot. Remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and of course, any other form of media like Zoom even, and any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. We're going to clear that up so we can get right into the show. So now that we've done that, let's do what we normally do, kick it off right now, raise our cups with our beverages, maybe it's coffee, cocoa, orange juice, whatever it is, and just lift it up. And as they say, salute, 100 years for you, right? And so what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. There's nothing like that first jolt of the day. And of course, I'll sit that aside, have a little more later. Of course, you don't have to drink coffee. A lot of you guys are not coffee drinkers. Some of you guys like cocoa, orange juice, milk, whatever it is, that will pep you up, as long as you're having it with us. Now, those of you who are watching us, and you may be in my time zone or maybe in another time zone, but you may be at work, however, and you may be on your coffee break. And sometimes, in the corporate world, I haven't been in the corporate world in years, so I wouldn't know too much whether or not they still do that. But they give you a coffee break. And if you are fortunate enough to have that coffee break, take the coffee break and sit at your desk and watch the show at the same time. And take that 15 or 20 minutes that's allowed to you. And when that 15 and 20 minutes are over, you can still be at your desk, and then you can go back to work and do what they call multitasking, watching the show and working at the same time. Love having along with us. So there, we have all of that going on. And thank you. Now, as I said, we're in the month of May. We're in the month of May, and we're celebrating a lot of things in the month of May. We've got a lot of things happening because we've got a long holiday weekend. Now, in the month of May, all month long, one of the things that we're celebrating is Jewish American Heritage Month. So all of you who are celebrating that, we want to celebrate with you, and feel free to give us some history, or maybe even give us some information where there may be some activities going along that you want to relate to us that people may not know about. We want to be part of that, and we want to convey that to the rest of the people with us. So that's what it is. It's Jewish American Heritage Month. And those of you who are in Washington, D.C., or maybe even visiting Washington, D.C., another way to celebrate that, you could hit the museum, the Holocaust Museum. All right, that's a good way to know about Jewish heritage. Check that out. There's a lot of information there for you to linger on and absorb. All right, so you can do that. Also, we're celebrating Asian Pacific American Heritage Month as well. So all of my Asian brothers and sisters, you're celebrating. We want to celebrate with you. We got so many things to celebrate about. We want to celebrate with you. And you could do the same thing. If there's some kind of information that you want about the heritage, of the Asian community, please feel free. We would love to know that. We want to celebrate with you. And if there are activities that you know that's coming along in your community and you want to convey it to us, that would be great too, because we want to celebrate with you. So there you go. You have those two things going along. Also, we have National Military Appreciation Month. All month long, we salute our men and women of the military, whether you're Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, whatever it is. We salute you and we appreciate you. We put that emphasis on appreciation because that's what we should do. And if no one had said anything to you about that, if you're a military person and they said nothing to you about that, well, they should, because we do appreciate you and we appreciate you here. And so much so that we're not going to call you losers and suckers. Because as far as I'm concerned, anyone that's uttered those words, losers and suckers, well, that's who they are. But we really appreciate you and thank you for, taking the time to volunteer, serving the country, helping us out, protecting us. And those of you who are currently serving, maybe people who have served years and years ago, you're still in a loop too. We still congratulate you and salute you. And for the people who have aspirations of joining the military and working on our country as well, we like to salute you as well. So we've got a lot of things going along. It's happening too. And since we're on the subject of military, we have a long weekend, as I said. Right. And those of you who may have the luxury of celebrating right throughout the whole long weekend, on Monday, it's Memorial Day. It's the Memorial Day holiday weekend. And of course, again, we celebrate all of our military people. So that's great. Now, a lot of people celebrate it in different ways. You want to go out there and outdoor barbecue and have a good time. That's okay. It's okay. But let's remember while you're doing that, what this day really, really means. So we look forward to celebrating all month long of these holidays. Okay, also, we've got National Wyoming Day. Those of you who live in Wyoming, yeah, you can't make this stuff up. It's National Wyoming Day. So those of you who live in the state of Wyoming, we want to celebrate with you. They say national. That means all of us get together nationally and we celebrate along with you. So we picked that out. You can't make this stuff up. We look forward to doing that. So there's so many things to celebrate, so many things, and we're having a good time with it. Those of you who are going to be with us, remember the name of the show is called Coffee Hour. That's the first thing. And those of you who are going to be with us for the balance of the show, we're here for a whole hour. We would like you to, if you're going to indulge in conversation, we would like you to give us your weather forecast. Now, we only do that because it's something that I like to do. It's not mandatory that we do it. It's just something that I like to request because somewhere around the world, everybody's weather forecast is different, and you don't have to give us a full-blown weather forecast. You don't have to do that. Just give us a summary because we want to know what it's like in your area as far as your weather is concerned. Because I like to compare notes of what's happening here to what's happening in your area. All right, that's what I like to do. So please do that. For those of you who live in New York City, in the vicinity of New York City, you dodged the bullet. You don't have to worry about that because I'm going to take care of all of that local stuff in New York. That's because we're here in New York. That's where we originate. We're right here in New York. And I'm going to take care of all of that. But for the rest of you in different parts of the world, different parts of the country, please indulge in conversation. Let's say hi. And of course, give us your weather forecast. And we would love to hear from you. Now, a lot of people, like to sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Just sit back, not do anything, not say anything, because they just want to make sense of it, especially people who are new. They want to make sense of it. And, and that's a good thing, too. You want to get acquainted. You want to see what it's all about. Feel it out before you get into conversation. Some people do have the talent of just jumping right in the pool just like that. And we appreciate that, too. But we would love to hear from you personally. I would love to acknowledge you personally and just say hello. So that's what we got here going. right here on the coffee hour. So with all the great celebrations that we have going, and all of the celebrations like the Jewish heritage and the Asian, and then the military was celebrating that in two different ways all month long, Appreciation Month, and then you have Memorial Day, all of that's happening. So there's so many things happening this weekend. And so we told you we have sports coming up, and then later on we're going to have all of the movies that we told you about. I don't know if you're going to actually take the time to do the movies, but we're going to give you every opportunity to get a chance to watch them, because it's a big, long weekend, and you're going to have so many things to do. And of course, one of them may be, watching some of those old classic movies that you love so much. Okay. Okay. Now, since we're talking about the weather, and I told you that, you chime in. Plus, if you want to chime in and give us your weather forecast, we would love that, because we're going to give you hours right now. As a matter of fact, we've got 79 degrees. That's what we have at the moment. So it's climbing out there. We've got great weather coming up, at least for most of the weekend. So those of you who are celebrating a holiday weekend, most of the weekend, and you take it in stride, and we'll see. But here's what we got so far in our weather forecast. It's beautiful out there. Beautiful. It's great out there. Let me see what we have right now. Abundance of sunshine on the way today. It's going to be warm. We'll have a high around 86 degrees outdoors. 86 degrees. That's, well, I can't tell you how long I was waiting for these temperatures to come up. A lot of people don't like this warm weather. They say, they don't want to deal with it. It gets too hot, too muggy, whatever it is. Women complain about their makeup, mascara drying. But listen, like it or not, it's here. I love it. I'm sorry. 86 degrees for the high today. And for tonight, we've got clear sky. We have a low near 65 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. For Saturday, it's a good one. You're celebrating Saturday, right? Except for a few afternoon clouds, it's going to be mainly sunny. And the high tomorrow is going to be 79 degrees. We won't have any rain in the forecast just yet. Winds will be east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And if you're going to hit the town there on Saturday night and hang out with the military people, it's going to be cloudy. Partly cloudy, I should say, and we'll have evening and early in the evening, partly cloudy and becoming overcast. But it doesn't say anything about rain, just overcast. Later on in the evening, we'll have low 64 degrees. Winds will be south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday looks good too, as well. Partly cloudy. We'll have a slight chance of rain, though. Rain showers developing. We'll have a high around 83 degrees. Winds will be south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So now this is when it really goes downhill as we get to a Sunday night. Partly cloudy in the evening. That's for Sunday night. Increasing clouds with periods of showers after midnight. We'll have a low 64 degrees. Winds will be southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain is 40%. So that's a low percentage, but you know something? You figure you got a good weekend coming along, but it's an extended weekend. And of course, you always look for that one day to celebrate before you go back to work, Memorial Day. Well, this is what it looks like. I'm sorry to report to you guys in New York City. Showers early, becoming steady. Steady rain late in the day. And we'll have a high 72 degrees. Winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain up to 90%. I'm so sorry about that. And rainfall will amount to around 1/4 of an inch. So that seems kind of heavy and more promising than not. 90% chance of rain. Okay, now I'm sorry about that, but most of the weekend is good. But listen, don't change your plans. Don't change your plans. You can be very creative about this because you never know. That may change. It can change. It's been done before. So please, don't fret about it, but use to your advantage what we gave you, the weather forecast that we gave you. We have 79 degrees outside, and the clouds are not out there at all. It looks good out there. And That's what's happening right here. Okay, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. You're joining us this particular moment. You're just coming in here. Okay, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. It's an hour show. Every Friday we're here. And of course, we bring you great conversation. And again, if you want to indulge in conversation with us, we would love you to do that. And please, I just gave you my weather forecast. I want to compare my weather forecast to yours. Maybe you'll have a better Memorial Day than we're going to have over here. But let's see, if you're going to indulge in conversation, let's do that. What do you say we go over to Charlotte, North Carolina right now? Because Brian Camp is with us, and he's here every Friday at this time. And of course, he brings us the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And of course, if you have any sports related questions, feel free, because he have all the answers. And if he doesn't have all the answers for you, he's going to get them one way or the other. Am I right about that?
You're absolutely right. 100% correct. Bring it.
He says, bring it on.
Ask me something, I'll give you 95% of the time, I'll give you the right answer. 98% of the time, I'll give you an answer. So bring it on.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So is there any questions? Anybody like to ask a question on this holiday weekend?
Well, I have a question, but it's not sports related. I already read my weather forecast for New York, my local time over here. And it's going to be a good weekend, except for Memorial Day.
Okay. Well, Memorial Day is a day of traveling back to your home, back to your destination.
Yeah.
You know, usually when you have a weekend holiday, Thursday is usually the travel day.
Yeah.
And then, then you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3-day weekend. And Monday, depending on where you at.
Yeah.
So,
but I was concerned about the people who want to do some outdoor activities, barbecue, but they possibly won't be able to do that on Monday because the rain is going to fall. 90% chance of rain. That's here in New York. I'm just talking about in New York. What about where you have any idea?
Storm, earthquake, hurricane, tornado, it doesn't matter. Somebody out here in the South cook. They're going to use their Blackstone grill. They're going to use smokers. They're going to use their or any types of grills and everything. Your what's it called? Your fish fry burner too outside as well too. But down here in the South, I've seen it happen. I've been part of it. I've done things like that in the rain. So so the weather doesn't apply to us.
I just want to give the people over here up north, a little hope that they can be creative just like you. Maybe not exactly like you're doing, but maybe a little bit of great creation on their part.
Oh, down here, they take it really serious. They take it really seriously about what they do with their planning, because there's so many events in competition in grilling and smoking. They take it really serious because it's really their passion out here. I'm still learning to, it's been almost 6 years now from leaving New York to come to the South. And it just amazes me how they are really serious about this. I've seen it up front, live action. It could be raining, threatening rain. They come out not only in numbers, but in full numbers.
Wow.
Yeah.
So. Lucky you.
Which we will be barbecuing on Sunday, and full numbers as expected. And this is how it is. So,
Well, if the rain gets crazy over here where I am in New York, I'm just going to turn on the George Foreman grill indoor. Yeah. Do they still sell those things?
Yeah, they do. That's for city people. People up down north, or up north, I should say.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes. But here in Charlotte, it is 75 degrees right here, right now as we speak, in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, where it's going up to 87 degrees. The sun is supposed to peak. Oh, the sun is peaking out now. And down here in the South, you got to water your plants, your flowers on a daily basis. The best time to do it is when the sun goes down. And that's where we at with the weather. Good morning to you all out there listening worldwide, globally, nationally, and locally. I greet you good morning. And here's some sports. Something happened in mid-May at a graduation in NFL. Kansas City Chief place kicker Harrison Butker gained national attention following his commencement address to Benedictine, a Catholic liberal art college at Atkinson, Kansas. Now, he was very direct. He spoke directly to women who graduate and using his wife Isabel as an example. Now, he notably argued that women have been lied about over the years about advancement over motherhood, and suggests that Pride Month celebrates is a deadly sin. He denounces abortions. Now, he's also a devoted Catholic. Also, he believes that the Jews had killed Jesus by crucifying him. Now, his commencement speech targeted towards queer folks, transgenders folks, and women with bitterness and hate. So his teammates, the Kansas City Chiefs, they not that they stand behind him, but they more like saying that he's a good guy. They don't agree everything that what he says, but he is their teammate, so they are with him, stand by him. Big difference. Don't think that the rest of the team agree everything that what he says. Patrick Mahomes, their star player, quarterback, doesn't agree at everything with what he says, but he said that he's a good man, he's a good family man, but he's our teammate, and teammates are supposed to stick by one another and hope that things will be right. So that's where we stand. He's gonna and Coach Andy Reid says everybody have a right to their opinion. And it means that he's always right, but he has a right to his own opinion. So let's not hate the man. He's just giving his views. You may not like what he says, but these are his views. In the NBA, the playoff is underway. We got the Final Four left now. The Boston Celtics beat the Indiana Pacers to take a 2-game lead in the best of 4 or 7 and for the Eastern Conference Finals. And tonight we're going to have game 2 between the Timberwolves. The Minnesota Timberwolves will be home against the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks won the first game, so they up 1-0. The Wolves, the Timberwolves are trying to even up the series at 1 apiece. Watch the game tonight on TNT. Major League Baseball opened an investigation into allegations that former LA Angels infielder David Fletcher gambled with illegal bookie, but investigators face a significant hurdle at the start where they are going to get evidence or trying to get evidence. Now, Fletcher, who is currently right now is playing for the Atlanta Braves, a AAA affiliate. That's their farm team. Betting on sports is something that's a little kind of shaky there because it's like Matthew Bauer. This is a friend of his, a Southern California bookmaker, took wages from Shohei Ohtani's longtime interpreter, Ippei Mizuhara, which we know about. He pleaded, he had a plea deal. So he's more like involved with this. Now Major League Baseball sources have said that if a player bet illegally, but not on baseball, it's likely he would receive a fine rather than a suspension. It's a big difference. You'd rather pay a fine instead of being suspended. Now, any player connected to any betting on baseball games could face up to a lifetime ban. Pete Rose, as you know, is serving a lifetime ban. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame, along with these other players like Barry Bonds, who is alleged steroid uses with Roger Clemens and some of the other guys. So here it is. Baseball for years had turned their heads, they looked the other way with these allegations, but now because they wanted to bring the fans back in, so now they're trying to they're trying to break these habits, but now it's too late now. So that's where we stand. This investigation will go on, but this is another prime example of betting is illegal. Now, Major League Baseball and Major League Baseball Players Association, now they are expanding existing financial assistance programs to support the living Negro League players. Players who played in fewer than 4 seasons in the Negro League will receive an annual financial benefit based on their time in the Negro League. Now, Major League Baseball said approximately 50 additional living players will be benefit financially. As you know, the Negro League ended in 1948, 1 year after Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier to enter into baseball, Major League Baseball. So we all could play baseball no matter what kind of gender, what kind of color of your skin. He broke that barrier. So that's where we are right now. But they're going to start giving homage to the old Negro League players, and deservedly so, because they did bring their stats in where that they could be used for Major League Baseball. This day in sports, May 24th, 1935, first Major League night baseball game in Cincinnati. The Reds beat the Phillies, the Philadelphia A's, I should say, 2-1. 1964, the longest home run, 471 feet in Baltimore. This is at Baltimore Memorial Stadium, home of the Baltimore Orioles, was hit by Harmon Killebrew. Remember Harmon Killebrew, big guy, played for the Twins. So he hit a monstrous shot. 1967, AFL grants a franchise to Cincinnati, who are now the Cincinnati Bengals. 1979, Billy Martin issues a public apology to Reno sports writer Ray Hager. Probably hit him. We don't know. It didn't really say why he owed apology, but Billy Martin was very quick with the hands and would hit. 2018, former President Donald Trump pardons Jack Johnson for racial-oriented criminal conviction transporting a white woman across state lines. This happened many years ago, but he did this in 2018. The former president of the United States. Birthdays on this date: 1962. Happy birthday, Hector Camacho, a 4-time champion, but in 3 weight class, was born in Bayamin, Puerto Rico. 1963, Joe Dumars, NBA Hall of Fame guard, 2 times NBA champion, born in Shreveport, Louisiana. 1963, happy birthday, Rich Rodriguez, NFL coach, born in Granttown, West Virginia. And happy birthday, 1979, to Tracy McGrady, NBA Hall of Famer, forward, 7 times All-Star, born in Bartow, Florida. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a busy day.
It's a busy day. And that former person that you were talking about, I don't know.
Let's call it like what we see. He did it just to try to straighten up his image to the Black community. I said it, yes. That's what he's did. To me, that's what I think he did it for.
And speaking of that, he was in New York. Of course, where else is he going to go at this time? He's in New York. Where else is he going to go? He's bound here. He had, well, I was going to say had the nerve. Went to the Bronx. Went to the Bronx of all places. You know about that?
The boogie down Bronx?
Yeah, he went to the Bronx and did a rally over there. I was surprised that nothing happened. I think everybody was cordial to each other. The right and the left. I guess they were in separate places. They were selling their wares, and and the Democrats is on the other side. I'm surprised. There was no chaos, but he had the nerve to go there. Now, that's questionable. You know, I'm questioning that. You know,
Well, you know, I mean, he has every right to try to campaign. I mean, he is a fellow New Yorker. I mean, but you know, times has changed where he's not loved in New York anymore. But see, that's the thing. But he still has his roots are still in New York.
I understand that.
You
And
know,
he said he's hoping to flip because out there in the Bronx and New York itself is a blue state. It's a blue state, New York itself. But you go into the Bronx where the 90% of the Bronx is blacks and Latinos. 90%. And granted, some of the people in the Bronx are that way. They're looking forward to voting for him, you know.
right.
But it was interesting. Now he was supposed to be talking about the agenda. Originally was supposed to be talking about grabbing the black and the Latino votes and talking about working with them, because you know what he said. He said he did more for the blacks than Abraham Lincoln, or since Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, I've heard that numerous times. And the only thing I do is laugh.
Now look at me. Look at me. Do I look that stupid to believe that?
Well, listen, you know, anything to try to draw votes, to draw. I mean, listen, this is going to be a close race, and don't be surprised if Donald Trump do win. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Pick your poison, basically. Pick your poison. I mean, Joe Biden is not the most how can I put this in a nice way? I mean, you know, he is a gentleman, don't get me wrong, but he has a lot of faults himself, President Joe Biden.
All presidents, past, present, future, are going to have faults. They all have faults. You know,
even President Barack Obama.
Yeah, there were a lot of things I didn't agree with him on.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
But you could agree to disagree, or whatever the phrase was, you know, and it doesn't cause riots. Now this schnook, it once said that, and he stated it. You heard it. He said if he's not elected, there's going to be a bloodbath. Now my answer to that is watch what you say. You got words matter. Watch what you say, because that bloodbath may be your own. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah,
I'm going to leave it at that.
And if his supporters still support him, no matter how wrong he is or what he's doing, he makes statements that he's going to become a dictator for a day or so. You know, they don't care.
Well,
that tells you where this country is at right now.
Well, he's already part of he's already partly dictator. I'll leave that to your imagination. He's only partly a dictator.
Yeah.
I'll leave that to your imagination. Anyway, Brian, I hope you have a great weekend. It's going to be a long one.
It's going to be a long one, but we're going to be out there barbecuing. You know, we're going to have fun. We're going to be around the state of North Carolina, visiting family and friends, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a great holiday weekend, and let's just have fun. You know, I hope that where you at in New York, where the weather will get better, things will be better for you and the Northerners, and that will take out their George Foreman grill and have fun. You know.
I guess in the meantime, we'll catch you back here next week.
Everybody be safe. Enjoy the holiday. Don't drink and drive. And if you do drink, have a designated driver with you. All right? Be safe.
Have a good one. Talk to you later. It's Brian Camp. Took the words right out of my mouth. Take that designated driver if you're planning on taking a few belts. You know, you want to stay safe out on the road. And it's very important, you know, that you go out there sober, because the driver that you may be next to may be me, you know, and I don't want to be swept up in all of that. Okay, so do it safe. And speaking of all of that, traveling, there's a lot of traffic. People have started their traveling, I think, as early as yesterday. And I know the day before, the airports, we had all of that rain here in New York. Some of the airports were like, they canceled. Well, there were more delays than there were cancellations. And people were trying to get to their destination. And people are traveling, and I hope that all of you who are traveling made your plans early, because there's going to be a lot of traffic on the road, and there's going to be a lot of people flying. And of course, you don't want to be swept up in a lot of things, but hopefully, wherever you are, wherever you're traveling from, your destination, I hope that the weather is good enough for you to get where you're going, and you don't have a lot of cancellations, and everybody is going to look fine and look good. I do wish that for you. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan, and we're going to be here until the top of the hour. And of course, all of the things that we have planned, you just heard from Brian with sports. And later on, as I said in the program, we're going to give you all of those movies, my picks of the week for your weekend. We, of course, I'll have all of those movies on the back burner. And I know you have a lot of plans other than watching movies, but just in case you just may want to do that, I have them anyway for your enjoyment. So that's coming up later on in the program. So many things are happening, and gee, you know, we hope that your holiday is going to be a good one. And I always remind people, make sure that whatever you do on a holiday, it's safe. It's very safe, you know, because a lot of people tend to go out there and do crazy things, but you don't be a fool, and make sure that you do everything on the right way. You do it on a sober, in sober conditions. That's the most important thing. Okay. Okay. Dabney Coleman, a veteran film and television actor known for his role in 9 to 5, Boardwalk Empire, and Tootsie, has died last Thursday at his home in Santa Monica, California. The Austin, Texas native, Coleman studied law and served the U.S. Army before pursuing acting as a career. His Hollywood career spans decades, beginning in the early 60s up until the final credit in 2019, when he appeared on an episode of Yellowstone. Coleman was 92 years old. CNN political commentator Alice Stewart died, and police told CNN that Stewart's body was found outside of her home in Bellevue, that's the neighborhood of Virginia, early last Saturday morning. Police said that they believed that there was a medical emergency and that there was no foul play involved. She was 58 years old. Lenny Kravitz is getting ready for the Friday release of his 12th studio album, Blue Electric Light. That's the name of that studio album, and he's prepping for his 60th birthday too, 2 days later, and announcing an extended run of the show in Las Vegas. This fall, Blue Electric Light Las Vegas will debut at Dolby Live at Park MGM, and that's happening on October 18th, 19th, and 23, and of course, 25th and 26th. Tickets go on sale on Friday. And according to us, that's today. Katy Perry has left the building. Oh, just like Elvis did. The singer got emotional during the season 22 finale of American Idol on Sunday, as she bowed out of the hit singing competition after 7 seasons. Perry was spotted crying as season 22 winner Abby Carter closed the show with her winning performance and the cover of a Billie Eilish Oscar-winning track, What Was I Made For? And as fellow judge Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan wrapped their arms around her, so we're going to miss her. Apple Music closed out its 100 best albums of all time, last Wednesday, with the top spot going to Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill and her 1998 solo project, beat out Michael Jackson's Thriller, Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, and the Beatles' Abbey Road, and Stevie Wonder's Song in the Key of Life, among others. Birthdays. The late rapper Heavy D would have been 56 years old today. Gene Anthony Ray, he was one of the dancers on Fame, on the TV version of Fame. He would have been 62 years old. Country singer Roseanne Cash is 69 years old today. Priscilla Presley is 79 years old today. Singer Patti LaBelle is 80 years old today and looking good. And let's see, jazz musician Charles Erlin, the late Charles Erlin would have been 83. Bob Dylan is 83 years old today. And Tommy Chung of Cheech and Chong is 86 years old today. And that's what's happening in the world of entertainment and birthdays. They're all covered. Happy birthday to all of them in show business. If you're celebrating a birthday too, of course, we would like to know that. We would love to talk about your birthday. Even if you're celebrating a birthday now, let me say happy birthday to you. Let's just say that. Happy birthday to you if you're celebrating a birthday now. But if you're having one anytime soon, we would like to announce that too, and you can get in touch with us. I have an email address and a telephone number available that you can send it out. We'd love to hear from you. I'll give you the email address first. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is A-L-L-A-N. That's a very important detail because you can spell Allan different ways. So my way is A-L-L-A-N. That's Frank Allan Prod. Prod is P-R-O-D. That's short for Productions. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Now, when you can call or email, whatever you want to do, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It never shuts down. You can wake up in the middle of the night and do it, okay? And I will get it. And you may want to contact me for whatever reason, as I said, to tell us about your birthday that's coming up so we can announce it. Or maybe you have plans to critique the show. You want to, and we do that because we're open ears. We're always open for opinions and ideas because that's what this show is all about. We never get angry, whether it's positive or negative. We want to hear about it because it helps us out a lot. Or maybe you have some ideas about this show that you want to implement. Or maybe there's a person you want me to interview on the show. You never know. I can't promise these things will materialize, but I can only promise you that we will listen to it, pay close attention, and maybe it's a good idea, and then who knows, it may happen. So keep all of that information with you. Keep it in your computer, in your cell phone, your Rolodex. I don't know if they have Rolodex anymore. I use my Rolodex as a doorstop right now. I have 2 doorstops. My very first cell phone, which is about this big, right? It's a doorstop now. And I still have it. Yes, indeed, I still have it. I even have my beeper. Remember the old beepers? I still have that. I'm a collector. I got it all. Anyway, the point is that keep all of that information wherever you are, and keep it in your cell phone, whatever. And then you have easy access to it, and you can do it at any time you want. So let me give you that email address once again. The email address is frankallanprod@aol.com. That's frankallanprod@aol.com. Telephone number once again is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. I look forward to hearing from you, and I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. I look forward to hearing from you. As I stated in the top of the hour, we're celebrating a lot of things. I already mentioned those things. One of the things that we're celebrating presently, we have a long holiday weekend, which is Memorial Day holiday weekend. And a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of things. And did you know that beginning in the middle of this past week, we are celebrating here in New York, That's what I'm talking about, New York. And you guys ought to come to New York sometime to see this. If you haven't made the trip, maybe next year you will make the trip to see the docking of all the fleet, because we're celebrating the 36th year of Fleet Week. All the ships come in on the Hudson River and they dock, right? They dock, and you have all of these beautiful ships. They have one ship, right? That looks like the front of the Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. You ever been there? In Las Vegas, the Bellagio Hotel, they have in front of the hotel, they have the water show, and it's a beautiful show. Now, this ship that passes by while it's cruising, water is spewing out all over the place, you know. And anyway, those ships come in, they dock in, and they're dropping off all of the military guys, all of the seamen, all of the Marines, and the Navy people. They're docking them off. And because they're going to spend the whole week here in New York City, and you're going to get a chance to meet some of them. They'll be walking around New York City, and of course, they will be out there communicating with everybody. And if you see these guys, you know, they'll probably be in restaurants and bars and things like that. It's like a little mini vacation for them, and they celebrate it at the same time. And if you run into one of these guys or gals, salute them and let them know that you care for them and that you really appreciate them. And so all week long. And as a matter of fact, it's going to go on to the 28th. They came in on Wednesday. I believe Wednesday was the 22nd, right? They came in on Wednesday, they docked in on Wednesday, and there are a lot of great activities that's going on right now. And they may be more than the ones I'm about to tell you right now. But I know in Times Square, there are free concerts and demonstrations. Yes, sir. If you're going to the Times Square area, you know, if you're a tourist, even if you're a local, locals don't hang out in Times Square too much, but this will be a good time to do it because they have great things happening. For instance, today, on the 24th, they have the Navy brand Northeast Brass Band that's performing tonight at 7:30 p.m. from 7:30 to 7:50 p.m. And following that, they're going to have the U.S. Fleet Force Rock Band. That sounds like fun. And that's going to take place at 8 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Eastern, right here in New York City in Times Square. So there's great music that's going to be performed. And tomorrow, it's going to be the Marine Corps Band. And they're going to be out there full force starting at 7:30 p.m. to 7:50 p.m. And then following that, the U.S. Fleet Force Rock and Roll comes back again. The Rock and Roll Band comes back again, and they're going to be doing the same schedule from 8 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. So you have a few things that are online, and I'm pretty sure there are a lot of other things that are happening out there that people are going to be looking forward to. And that's how we're celebrating our military boys. They're going to be here. Now, you're going to see them all over the place. And like I said, they'll be in restaurants and bars, and they're gonna mingle with the rest of us. And so we welcome all of you guys as usual. If any of you guys are under the sound of my voice right now, we love you. We really appreciate you. So there you go. Memorial Day, and of course Fleet Week. It's all happening. Fleet Week, as I said, it's going to be here to the 28th. Of course, you know, Memorial Day is on the 27th, and then everybody goes back to work the following day. Okay, so enjoy. Okay, I have those movies that I was telling you guys about, and I have them, each week. I pick out all of these movies. And I know you guys like these movies. Now this weekend is a special weekend, and this is a weekend a lot of people will be traveling. Now, whether or not you're going to be indulging and watching movies and things like that, I don't know. But I'm going to give you these movies anyway. I'm going to give them to you anyway because you may want to just relax and watch them. All right, you may want to relax and watch them and do all the things that you do in conjunction with all of that barbecuing, but you may want to take a little time and watch it. And I say that because it's a long weekend and you may have time to do that. So I'm going to get started right now with these movies. They're my picks of the week, coming from Turner Classic Movies. My picks of the week. All right, and let's get started right away. Here's one from 1968 called The Producers, starring Zero Monstu. Zero Monster and Gene Wilder. That's on Turner Classic Movies, and that's coming on Friday at 6:15 p.m. Eastern. Good time to watch it. All right. And then following that, you have The Caine Mutiny. Now, this is a classic movie. I love this movie. And this goes back to 1954, starring Humphrey Bogart. And of course, Jose Ferrer and Van Johnson. Three of them together on Turner Classic Movies, and that's happening Friday. We're in the Friday mode right now, so to us, that's tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern. Here's something nice. It's not military style, but it's a great musical comedy, and I think you're going to enjoy it. It's classic from 1943 called Thank Your Lucky Stars, starring the late, from a long time ago, Eddie Cantor. Eddie Cantor, along with Dennis Morgan and Joan Leslie. And you'd be surprised how many other people you're going to see in that movie. And they all use their real names in this movie. That's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And here's something, we go back military style. This is in color from 1955 called Mr. Roberts. And that stars Henry Fonda, Jack Lemmon, and James Cagney from 1955. That's on Turner Classic Movies, and that's on Sunday at 7:45 p.m. Eastern. And finally, here's something nice, military, Dirty Dozen, 1967. Lee Marvin, Ernest Borgnine, and Charles Bronson all together. And I'm going to throw Jim Brown in there because he's in that movie as well, and a lot of other people too. But these are the main characters, and that's on Turner Classic Movies on Sunday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern. I give you all the times Eastern because you may be in a different time zone, so you can act accordingly. Now, while you're there, on demand, you can also go and watch those free movies. There are a lot of those as well, from A to Z, chock full of them. And you can go down the list and pick up something that you like, and something that you remember that jogged your memory, or something that you haven't seen in a long time, but there are a lot of them. You can go up and down, because if you're a movie buff, you're going to be searching and you're going to be looking around. And of course, while you're on demand too, you can go on pay-per-view movies that are in the theaters now. Did you know that you can watch them in your very own home? You have to pay a little more for them, but you can pop your own popcorn and watch it without the ambiance of other people around you. Not that I against other people, but some people just like to be in solitude, right? And you can watch those, right? Also, there are movies that were in the movie theaters not too long ago. They linger on, and you can still pay and watch those as well. And of course, remember that you can go and check out a great abundance of documentaries, children programs, sporting events. Let's say, for instance, if you missed your favorite sport, you can catch it the following day right there. It'd be great. You can do that sometimes without commercial interruptions. Sometimes, I say. But and then there are Lifetime movies. And if you go to ABC, you miss your favorite soap opera, or ABC or one of the networks, depending, you can watch it the following day. You can catch up on all of that. Okay, so do that and watch the movies that I told you about. I'm going to repeat these movies once again. They're great movies. Great movies. The Producers, and that's with Zero Monster and Gene Wilder, right there on Turner Classic Movies. That's Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you watch it then. The Caine Mutiny with Humphrey Bogart, Jose Ferrer, and of course, Van Johnson. That's Turner Classic Movies at 5 p.m. Eastern. Thank Your Lucky Stars with Eddie Cantor, Dennis Morgan, and Joan Leslie. And that's Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Mr. Roberts with Henry Fonda, Jack Lemmon, and James Cagney. That's Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 7:45 a.m. Eastern. And The Dirty Dozen, Lee Marvin, Ernest Borgnine, and of course, Charles Bronson. Jim Brown is in it too. And that's Turner Classic Movies. That's on Sunday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern. Check out all of these movies. I think you're going to like it. They're great movies. And I'm sure you're going to like. As a matter of fact, I guarantee that you will like them all. They're all great movies. Okay? All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much for being along with us. Good morning, Mary. Thank you for joining us, Mary Reed. And for the rest of you guys who have joined us for the past hour, we thank you so much for being along. This officially brings my weekend underway. So I will be back next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for Talkback Live. Brian Camp will be along with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. We look forward to seeing him then. We look forward to seeing you too. And then you come back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the Coffee Hour. Brian Kemp, of course, will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And of course, we look forward to seeing you then too. I want to bid you guys a wonderful, long, extended holiday weekend. To salute to all of my military brothers and sisters. This is your weekend. We thank you so much on Memorial Day weekend. So have a great day and a great weekend, and we'll see you back here soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
You've been watching the Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Coffee Hour.